Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today's scenario sent in by RM, David and Goliath. Now if you want to send in your own scenario you can do so, link down below in the description. It has an entire form so you can fill in everything that I need to know about your scenario so I can execute it to the best of my abilities. This one is pretty straightforward. On the 12th of November 1942, two battleships of Hiroake Abe's task forces group up and steam towards Guadalcanal with plans to bombard Henderson Field. They will enter Ironbottom Sound at 1:25. All that stands in their way is Admiral Callaghan's forces, consisting of 2 heavy cruisers, the San Francisco and the Portland, 3 light cruisers, Helena, Atlanta and Juneau, and 8 destroyers. While the US has picked up the enemy on radar, this information has not been sent to Callaghan, so he only opens fire upon seeing the enemy at very close range. We are playing as the US, and we have technology from 1940. Starting range is 5,000 meters. Yikes. It's sort of double yikes because they have 11 destroyers and I have 8. So it's probably going to be torpedo soup. No special wind conditions or anything. All I need to do is design a heavy cruiser in the form of the San Francisco or the Portland, which, by the way, I will not make historical. I'm just going to figure out something that I might think will work against battle cruisers, and we shall see how it goes. The moment that I hit click battle, it's going to be madness, because the torpedoes are going to go everywhere. Alright, we are building a heavy cruiser. Let's name this thing the San Francisco. 20,000 for a heavy cruiser is really quite heavy. Let's go with 18,500. There. Speed. I'll take a fairly good 33 knots. Range is not important, bulkheads to max. Let's go with geared turbines, oil, forced boilers, a bit of auxiliary engines. Anti-torpedo. In this case, I'm probably going to go with torpedo protection 5. Because I'm expecting a wave of torpedoes. And I don't even know if the torpedo 5 is going to be sufficient. Anti-flood, all of it. Citadel. Generally, this one's just a little better, especially when it comes down to ammo detonation chance and flash fires. This one, though, gives you just flat out more resistance. I'm going to go with the ammo detonation chance prevention. Reason being, if a torpedo manages to hit the citadel, or rather the component where the shells are stored, then I'm going to be in a really rough situation. Electrical turrets, autoloaders. I'm going to go with Gen 1 radar rangefinder. I think that's enough. I'm starting at 5,000 meters. I don't need a very good radar. Let's go with the coincidence rangefinder, exactly because of that reason. Gun aiming speed increases by 35%. Acoustics, yes please. That's going to be very important. Let's put this... Oh. Wow, you got all of this space, but you can't use it? Look at that. So you're actually limited to 1, 2, and 3. That's the options that you have. Okay, that's nice. Guns. I still think that the 8-inch guns look like an odd duck. 7-inch is pretty standard. You got the 9-inch. And they got the 8-inch guns. It's like they're a different make and model of the turrets. I mean, this is just a natural evolution from 7 to 9. It's just like they made this turret a little bigger, but... What is that? The 8-inch gun. Anyway, I would like to use the 9-inch guns. Pretty standard amount of firepower. And hopefully it's going to be enough to keep those cruisers away. Or rather, the battle cruisers. Oh crap, it's the aft weight offset. I need to move this stuff farther forward. Now, we have a little bit of displacement left. And I want to put a few more 5-inch guns on the ship. Ideally 6-inch. But you cannot really fit a 6-inch anywhere. Whereas if the 6-inch is actually a secondary, you could possibly fit it on one of these slots. But hey, it's a US ship. It's a US heavy cruiser. So I was going to say, let's put some 5-inch guns here, but no. Let's not, I guess. Funnels. Oh, right. For some reason, I always forget that until the game goes, hey, idiot, funnel. 86.9 engine efficiency is something I'm willing to accept. 4-inch guns. And then I have 1,000 tons left to play around with. Propellants. Let's go with a high TNT. I want heavy shells on my heavy cruisers. And I'm going to keep a standard complement of ammo. I don't think I need to do anything else about the ship's stats. So let's put a bit more into the armor. 7.5-inch belt, 5-inch extended. Preferably a whole bunch on the turret. Let's say 13 inches on the turret. A bit on the secondaries before these things decide to go and join Space Force. And just armor up the conning tower to 13-inch. Turret top. It's not really that not really that required, because we're fighting at such short range that unless somebody fires their shells straight up and it comes straight down, I don't think that we're going to need deck armor. Aux 4. Oh, nice. Shaft 3. Nice, sir. Whoa, we can make this thing into a, well, for a cruiser spec, a fortress. Let's not have more belt extended armor than actual belt armor. 5 tons. There. Okay, 8.5-inch of belt armor, 7.5-inch of belt extended, plus an armor bonus of 118. Bit of deck armor, lots of conning and turret armor, bit of armor on the secondaries. Propellant, high TNT, driving 9-inch guns, which can deliver ammunition up to a range of 20 clicks. Although at the 5,000 meter range, we can penetrate an average of about 18.7 inches of armor. We have a few 5-inch guns. More importantly, we have the 4-inch guns. And, oh, actually, if I remove these, could I put... You can put 2-inch guns there, right? Yeah, you can put 2-inch guns there. Firing out to 6. You know, that might be worth it. So, slightly back to the drawing board. They don't have any more placement on the bow. At least not officially, because these things still cannot fit anywhere. Even if you go for 1-inch. Oh, hold on, they can fit up here. Just, they gotta be single barrels. Singular single barrel. Even on the balconies here. Jeez, it must be American. Look at the amount of guns that this thing has. Ship's slightly overweight. Must be American. Sorry, couldn't resist. There we go. Okay, total armament stats. Let's go all the way up. We got 9 9-inch guns. We have 20 4-inch guns. We have 36 2-inch guns in a triple setup and another 8 in a single setup. There should be more than enough firepower to sink DDs, hopefully quickly. Hopefully quickly, because we're starting at 5,000 meter range, and here goes. This can end really quickly, because the amount of torpedoes that the Japanese DDs can put into the water is frightening. Of course, it depends entirely on what the ship is designed like. Old. Look at that, we're right on top of what I think is a light cruiser. Like 200 meters on top of it. Now, I want the torpedoes from this ship, which is a quintuple launcher, to immediately strike that one. I want the ham to go after what I think is a battlecruiser. I want the Rogers to torpedo this guy. Where are my light cruisers? I hadn't even checked what these ships are like. We got the... Oh, no. Well, yes, turn. We got the ham. Sorry, the Hammond, De Haven, and Rogers. Minimum bulkheads, so they're going to be dead in the next 2 minutes. They're very quick. White powder propellant. Anti-flood 2. They are definitely going to be dead within the next 2 minutes. Light cruisers, unfortunately not named as required in the scenario. But these are the Vallejo, the Wilkes Barre, and the Spokane. 7-inch gun cruisers, of which they only carry 6 guns. But that might just be enough to make a really big hole into a DD, especially using cordite. Reloads, meh, 13 seconds. They also got a couple of 3-inch. Especially interesting right here below the stern turrets. I want these guys to start smoking up. We got Russell, Robert H. McCard, and Gaynard. I want these guys to keep going. And we are going to torpedo this ship right here. Who's lead? Russell's lead. Okay, Russell, you take the lead ship. Robert takes the second ship, and the Gaynard takes the third ship. Then we got another 2 ships over here. In the form of the Oscar Austin and the Storms. I want you guys to turn this way. You're going to torpedo that battle cruiser. You're going to torpedo this battle cruiser. And my heavy cruisers, San Francisco and Frederick, are going to run like hell. Because they are very much broadside to the enemy, and that's not where I want to be. Secondaries on the lead destroyer, which I think happens to be this ship, in fact. Let's say all guns on that ship, which I think is the only light cruiser that the Japanese get. Alright, here goes. The torpedo launcher should be turning to... Oh, there we go. To face the target. If and when able. Oh, is it one of those torpedo launchers? No, this one has launched. Torpedoes are out against the battlecruiser. Rogers hasn't launched. De Haven has launched. Just remind me what the target is. A DD over there. Hammond. Please target... the second battlecruiser. Looks like I'm getting hits on a multitude of ships here. Severe structural damage on the battlecruiser. We have the heavy... No, sorry, it's a destroyer. Hard to starboard. The Uranami, which is launching torpedoes at me. What a mess this is. Torpedoes coming out from the Hammond. They could hit the Oscar Austin, although by the time that the torpedoes get there, they're either going to collide with the battlecruiser, or my ships are probably dead at that point. There goes the Uranami. 5 torpedoes squash into the Nishinotori, dealing a significant blow against this 48,400 ton battlecruiser, which does come with a standard complement of bulkheads, but the amount of flooding that these ships are taking is severe. So maybe there's hope yet. I want you guys to charge right towards the destroyers, not necessarily killing them just yet, but just making your way there. We got torpedoes going out, torpedoes coming in. A couple of torpedoes hitting the Sane and the Kaya. Get some ammo. There's so much going on. Okay, so Sane's gone. Sane sinks due to heavy flooding. You got torpedoed. Austin sinks due to structural damage, which might have to do with getting hit by a 14-inch shell. And we have the Storms, that's the other one, which sinks due to heavy flooding, because you also got hit by a 14-inch shell, and that probably ruptured your hull entirely. Alright, these battlecruisers might survive, although this one still has a few torpedoes coming at it. If it's lucky, it's just going to eat one, which is going to add further to the trouble of the Amagi. In case you're wondering why is a battlecruiser called Amagi, well, the ship names are in a large pool, and the way that it works in the game is that the game randomly selects a name for a ship. So I know that Amagi was a battleship, although even that's debatable. In this case, the game doesn't care. The game just picks a name at random. Now, we have inflicted 13, taken 6, 7. There are still torpedoes coming this way, and it looks like the Frederick is going to head right towards them. San Francisco just got torpedoed again. Oh, sorry, I am the San Francisco. The Nashinotori got torpedoed. So it looks like the battle cruisers are going to be down very soon. Which is excellent news for the survivability of the heavy cruisers. Can these things turn at all? 373 meter turning circle, that's great. DD's dead, battle cruisers dead. Torpedoes incoming, that's not great for the Wilkes Barre, but you might survive. I just don't know about the Spokane. I need to find you a gap. By my count, we have one light cruiser alive and a whole bunch of destroyers on the enemy side. This is going to be really tough. Yeah, the Spokane won't survive this. Minimum bulkheads, you're dead. Rejoin the light cruisers. If there's anything to rejoin. Oh fuck, there's more. Shit, shit, shit. There goes Spokane. Kashi's dead. This is just mutual destruction. I'm losing ships all over the place. And I barely know what I have alive. But I think the same can be said for the AI. There goes the Vallejo. Let's see, are these 2-inch guns doing anything? Not too much. The 4-inch, decent. 9-inch guns, pretty good. San Francisco is closing in to kill the Yahagi, which does come with torpedoes, but hopefully they're not going to be ready. De Haven sinks. Haukazi sinks. Samidari is probably going to be toast. Hammond is looking like she's going to go down soon, especially with a few bulkheads on her. Looks like Yahagi is having a rough time. I don't want to flood, or I don't want to ram that ship. No! I don't want you to ram me either. Please tell me you're going to continue that turn. Because you got a flaming barge of a ship heading towards you, and I don't like it. Sod off. No, no, no. No, 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 no. This is going to make for a beautiful thumbnail, though. Go away! Ramming damage on San Francisco. But it seems like the light cruiser has it worse. There we go, light cruiser's dead. But you can still ram a wreck. So the San Francisco did take a decent blow from that, but no flooding was sustained. Okay, what do we have left? They got no light cruiser, they got no battle cruiser. I think we're almost done with this battle. Whoa, the Hammond survived? Color me impressed. We still have a couple of fairly healthy DDs over here in the form of the Robert, the Russell, and the Gaynard. Oh, and we got the Wilkes Barre. There goes the Hammond. I just need to make sure that my other ships get close enough to finish off the surviving Japanese ships. I believe that this is not how the Battle of Ironbottom Sound went. I believe that the light cruisers... Well, in a sense it did. From what I remember, the light cruisers got their asses torpedoed almost instantly. And that's not wrong relative to what we're doing here. Here too, you can see ships getting torpedoed left and right, especially the light cruisers, leaving only the Wilkes Barre alive. Wilkes Barre is trying to engage the ship with everything it has. So far, the 7-inch guns have done a decent amount of damage, but she just has too few of them. 3-inch guns have done more than double the amount of the 7-inch guns. But then again, this would only work at such a range. At greater range, the 7-inch guns would probably prove to be more effective. Let's see, I want the Frederick to go there, and the San Francisco to keep cruising towards the other two DDs. I want you to engage the Arare, because I have every conflict. Shit. Oh, no. Oh no. That's gonna come at the expense of 2 destroyers. Shit. Robert H. McCard is not looking very healthy. Ship has developed a significant list. Tamanami's dead. Excellent. Oh. A couple of migrating torpedoes over there. Run down the Aurora. What are these guys doing? Harusame and Sawakaze. They just launched against a heavy cruiser. I'm assuming it's Frederick. And you? Sawakaze, well, might have launched them, what is that, 3 minutes ago? Give or take. Aurora is looking pretty painful. Severe flooding has been sustained. And can they do something about that? Yes, they could, potentially. Since they have very good anti-flooding systems. And you can see that they are, in fact, getting rid of some of the water. It's only a matter of time until some of these shells make another hole in the DD, causing the Aurora to get even more trouble. Russell charging in at a range of 4.6 kilometers. Well, this sure is a battle that gets you to the edge of your seat, at least when you're playing it. Target Sawakaze. Aurora sinks due to extensive fire. That's not what I would expect to kill the Aurora. I mean, I get it. Look at that. Can't even select the ship anymore. There. You got hit by a 9-inch shell. Oh. Yeah. You just burned her down. Now, with the sonar system, I'm expecting to spot these torpedoes fairly soon. And hopefully see them sail past here fairly harmlessly. Because I did make a course correction with the Frederick when I saw that that ship was coming in. Or when the ship launched the torpedoes. Light cruiser charge in, and now it's just cleanup crew. Now it's just a cleanup crew. Sawakaze is down. I wonder how the heavy cruisers are doing damage-wise. 952, 498, 71, and 14. But then again, these are the fewest guns. San Francisco, 2178, 719, 143, and 36. I think San Francisco did a load of damage. Sure, most of the damage here came from the torpedoes, at a rate of 906 damage. Everything was torpedoes. Damage taken, most by torpedoes, but also a fairly substantial amount by the 14-inch guns. Which I think were blowing up destroyers left and right. Seeing as they didn't hit my light cruiser or my heavy cruiser. So now we can wrap this up. And say that the Battle of the Ironbottom Sound went to the US. I think that if you just hit replay battle, you're going to get a different result. So that is, in fact, what I'm going to do. Because you might get different ship placement. There she goes. Let's restart. You might get different ship placement. You'll get different ship designs. You're going to get different outcomes. Or will we? At least I know my heavy cruisers are going to be the same. Stop! Jesus, we're... Holy shit! If you thought 200 meters was bad, it gets worse. It's 100 meters. And... Oh no. This time around, my DDs have 1 torpedo tube. Versus... all of them. What's that? 10... 13 per... DD, I think? That is not pleasant. They're all moving in formation. New Orleans. This time around with a few more 7-inch guns. 3-inch guns, 2-inch guns, and a single torpedo on the stern. I don't even know where to turn you guys. I need you to smoke up, that's for sure. I want you to engage that one. No, I don't even know. This one? That one? How do you do that again? Main gun, shift, alt, right click. Shift. Shift, Alt, right click. Shift, Alt, right click. Alright, Dayton, Pensacola, New Orleans. It's been a pleasure, but you're probably going to be dead soon. King, Blandy, Sojourner, Herbert, and Boyd. These guys are fairly worthless unless they charge in. Standard amount of bulkheads. Standard bulkheads. At least they didn't build me terrible ships. Now these guys, I think these are going to have to kill the battle cruisers. And the same can be said for the main guns of the heavy cruisers, so that the secondaries can hopefully take out the light cruiser. Or, sorry, the DDs. Serious damage already going on with the Preble. Looks like we're getting a torpedo greeting from the Maquis. Oh, lordy lord, that's not good. That is seriously not good. Cue the torpedo beats, because we are going to get some. Pensacola, I would seriously advise you to turn the other way. Although, Pensacola might actually have it worse. Jesus, there's more? I don't even know what is going on here. AI, take the wheel. That's 1 DD down. 2 DDs down. Yeah, that's a light cruiser less. Pensacola, please find a gap. Now that everything has been launched at you, you might find that there is a bit of room. And there is. Dayton, hard to starboard. This DD is going to have a pretty unfortunate encounter. There we go. Status on the heavy cruisers. I need my heavy hitters alive to make sure that I can take down the battle cruisers at some point. DDs charge in and smoke in. The AI has now resorted to ramming tactics on sinking ships. One can always count on the AI to make curious decisions. There goes the Wakatsuki. Where is the Wakatsuki? Over there. Okay. Light crew. Ooh, the King's going down. Looks like the Pensacola might just evade. And Dayton so far is doing very well. I just need to keep killing off DDs before they get a chance to reload. And it looks like these might be most of the DDs. Pensacola's 7-inch guns are going off as much as they can. And the same can be said for the 3-inch and the 2-inch. And it's the Preble, however, that sinks. Due to structural damage. Probably had a rough encounter with, I think the secondaries on a battle cruiser. Speaking of... Wait, one. Kamikawa Maru. 46,300 tons. 10-inch guns. Interesting. But maximum bulkheads. That's a 12.7-inch belt. I'm gonna struggle to do damage against these. It's going to be HE only. And potentially a torpedo. But the torpedo launchers on these DDs are positioned terribly just behind the bridge. So it's going to be very, very rough to get those away. It might be possible, but it's going to be tricky. It looks like San Francisco is going to have problems of the torpedo kind. I think that's the Sugi that... Yeah, the Sugi did torpedo the heavy cruiser. I was wondering if it was meant to do to kill any of the other DDs, but it wasn't. That was fully intent on killing San Francisco. And I think that I'm going to take 3 to 4 torps on the San Francisco. Miyuki is down. I need all of you to be under AI flag. San Francisco. Turn, girl. Nope. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, it's a heavy cruiser. It took 9 torpedoes and it's still more or less alive. Sure, she's flooding. She has 3 damaged engines and a damaged rudder. But the ship is not dead yet. As opposed to the Patterson and the Herbert. These things got hit by one 10-inch shell and immediately went up in a fireball. Now, there are, I think, 3 DDs and a light cruiser in here somewhere. There's the light cruiser Kuma. The engine on the Boyd is already damaged. San Francisco is still online, but only just. Pensacola, I'm taking control again. I need you to sink the Cabo. And I need you to be quick about it, because we're going to need your guns to battle down the other group. DDs, denied torpedoes. I need the Makinami dead. San Francisco sinks due to heavy flooding. After what she went through, I didn't really expect anything else. So now, we did not do quite as well as last time, because now I'm sitting at 17,000 versus 36,000 that the Japanese have inflicted. The damage this time is looking very, very different. And with just one heavy cruiser, 2 DDs, one of which seriously damaged and probably dead, and 2 light cruisers, which only carry 1 torpedo on the stern, I think that this round is going to go to the Japanese. There goes the Makinami. I have a pretty good chance to hit the battlecruiser, but damaging it is something entirely different. Chance to pen, 7%. How close would I need to be to do some serious damage? About 1,000 meters. And even then, it's probably not going to happen. That is rough. There goes Manly. Blandy's going to be next. Yep, this round definitely goes to the Japanese. And this is why I wasn't tooting my own horn too much, because I thought, you know what? If I restart this battle and the Japanese get different ships, the AI defines different ships for my team as well, then the fight is going to go very, very different. And indeed, it is. Because surely we're doing some damage against these ships, but these battle cruisers are going to be nigh unsinkable. At least considering the firepower that I can bring. These were 9-inch shells colliding with the ship, but they barely did anything. It was about 2 points of damage, I think. We can, however, potentially hit the DDs behind it. Maybe sink a few of those. The Dayton's already starting to flood. The DD is dead, the Blandy. Getting hit for good measure with another 10-inch shell for 4,500 damage. Leaving the Pueblo and the Pensacola and the already damaged Dayton. This is going to be a loss. I might, however, be able to sink the DDs, so let's try that. I want the secondaries on the Sazanami. And I might need one of these ships to start ramming a battlecruiser. Minakazi's almost down. Sazanami's seriously flooding. I want the Tachikaze down. AI is ramming itself again. Dayton, I have one last job. If you're gonna go out, do it in an honorable fashion. Although your speed is dropping rapidly to a mere 10 knots. I think the battlecruiser is too fast. The battlecruiser is doing 37.5 if she's at top speed. And I think she very well might be. Sazanami still has a triple torpedo launcher left, but it's amidships. And does not seem to be too forgiving about the position of that. Serious damage on the Tachikaze. I'm hoping to kill that one. Not sure how the Dayton's not dead yet. Where's the other one? Pensacola's fairly healthy for the encounter that she's about to have. Ammo detonation, that's one down. Next target down. Third target, Minakaze. Mains on the Kamikawa Maru, which I now have a pretty decent chance of penning at about 34%. Fires and flooding are being damaged or are being set to the Minakaze. Minakaze is dead. That was exceptionally quick. Put the secondaries on the Kuma and the mains on the Kamikawa, which seems to have her entire attention focused on a light cruiser. Interestingly. Alright, Pueblo, bring your guns over. Fast is good. Chance to pen, 36. This is another free spinning turret that goes right through the secondary tower. Oh, we're gonna ricochet now. Look at that pen chance sort of go down. Oh, now it's going back up again. 27-7, 27-8. The ship's turning to port and the guns are turning to starboard. Pensacola is having a tough time trying to survive against all the shells which are being thrown her way. She's using her 6-inch to damage the Kuma successfully and starts a flash fire. Now Kuma has a few has one 6-inch turret less. Engine damaged, flooding, 2 engines damaged at this point. She's gone. Come on, buddy. That is pretty underwhelming. Look at that. 1.5 kilometers out, and we just can't do damage to that ship. At least not with armor piercing. Now, hopefully, the guns on this ship... Oh, they're already turned around. Look at that. The amount of holes on this ship. Or rather... No, they're not holes, actually. They are not holes, and that's the problem. They're not doing damage. These are more like craters of sorts. They, however, might not be able to damage the Pueblo either. At least from the Kamikawa Maru's perspective, she doesn't have that much to bring to bear. Yeah, a healthy pen chance, please. About 30% would be decent enough. The problem lies, however, in the maximum bulkheads. Because it means that even if I do deliver a serious blow against this ship, I probably won't be able to actually sink her due to flooding. I might, however, be able to put the Kuma out of her misery. So let's keep the bow pointed towards the battlecruiser, slow down and bring the guns over to starboard. Hopefully, pretty much one-shotting the Kuma. I do want to go with HE. I don't want any unfortunate mishaps here. And ricochet at this angle is exceptionally high. So let's go with HE. Fire and ready. Kuma, many bulkheads. There you go. Engine damage and the ship's flooding. I'm still very much angled towards the Kamikawa. And, at the same time, against the Wakamiya. This battle might extend a little longer than I'd expected. The Kuma is having a very rough time. Most of the ship is on fire at this point. And the sections that are not on fire, or maybe some of them that are on fire, are also flooding. Come on, one good hit with the 9-inch. And we could put that light cruiser down. Nope, nothing. The angle is starting to get a bit too good for the Kamikawa. We have to turn. There we go. Kuma sinks due to heavy flooding. New target, Kamikawa Maru. Wow, your accuracy leaves something to be desired as well, doesn't it, Wakamiya? Stereoscopic rangefinder 4, generation 2 radar. So what's your excuse? What sort of... They are Mark 5s. They're the most advanced guns that you can get. Interesting. Guns on the Pueblo, turning back towards the bow, I think. What are my A and X turret doing? What are you trying to hit? More damage to the secondary tower. The 7-inch gun probably doesn't do too much. My main concern is their 10-inch gun. But this works both ways. My 4-inch guns will barely do anything. Come on. Let's go with an HE salvo at this angle. I don't like the AP chance. 5 points of damage. Good lord. Oh, that was not good. That was a pretty damaging hit. I'm very much hoping to cause a flash fire of some sort against one of their secondaries. Secondaries have 7 inches of armor. If I can cause a flash fire, that might spread through the ship. Oh, hi. Oh, shit. Our chance to pen's too good. New target, Wakamiya. Armor piercing. Go. That was bound to happen. So here's the problem. If I turn to port, I become an even bigger broadside to the Wakamiya. If I turn to starboard, I become an even bigger broadside to the Kamikawa. So whichever way I turn, I'm going to take a load of damage. All I can hope to do now is just stay alive as long as possible. Maybe ram. Just as a good fun way to do a little bit of damage after. Ow, 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 ow. I gotta give credit to the Pueblo though. The way that she's holding herself against 2 battle cruisers, which are about 3 times her weight, is very impressive. She's a she's a heavy cruiser of only 18,500 tons. This thing is 46,000 tons. I do, however, fear that the heavy cruiser cannot keep up with the battle cruisers. So a ram is getting increasingly unlikely. Come here, buddy. Range 1100 meters. 1200 meters. Not getting closer. We haven't seriously damaged the Wakamiya at all. Oh, there we go. The rudder got damaged. Speed still 34. Speed on my ship's gonna drop to 18 knots. We're getting damage on the main guns, damage on the secondary guns. And just overall, a flurry of secondary guns which are exchanging fire. In her case, 7, 5, 4, and 3. In my case, 4, 2, and 2. These 2-inch guns, by the way, have done a lot of damage. 4,661. Actually, more than the main guns. Interesting. Alright, I don't think that this battle is going to go well. We're probably going to keep circling each other, and in the next few minutes it's going to go probably to the Japanese. Because I don't see myself ramming this ship. And my structural integrity continues to fall. So far, she has taken a remarkable good amount of damage, though. More than 1,000 rounds have already ricocheted off of her armor. 43 hits have been just blocked out. Oh, we destroyed a secondary gun. Well, she's down to 60% now. In this case, if I was the battle cruisers, I would not keep circling like this. I would tell this one probably to turn all the other way around, so I can broadside the cruiser. But the AI hasn't quite figured that out yet. There's a fire, more damage to the main gun. Main guns have 17 inches of armor, so my chances of blowing one of those up are very bad. Rudder damaged. 55% left on the Wakamiya. 38 on the Pueblo. Both of the main turrets have been damaged, but my turrets similarly are pretty heavily armored. Ammo is aplenty. Speed 18 knots. Although I think we're wearing down this battle cruiser faster than she's wearing down the Pueblo. Destroyed another secondary gun, supposedly. Just maintain a rudder angle of 3 degrees left. Yeah, I'm seeing some blackening on these 5-inch guns. 4-inch? Small caliber, anyway. 51% there, 37% here. This is going to take a while. Oh, more rudder damage. We're starting to seriously damage the stern compartments of this ship. What's your reload? 19 seconds. 17 seconds. My gun is 1 inch smaller. Reloads slightly faster. Barely impressive. So this is not that likely. Oh, actually we've inflicted flooding on her stern. We're down to 34%. Buoyancy 50... Sorry, buoyancy 97, structural 50. Yeah, guys, I'm calling it here. I don't think I can win this fight. Even if I do have enough damage to put down the Wakamiya. Putting down the Kamikawa. Unless she has some critical hit. I don't see it. Anti-flood? 3. So any flooding I inflict is probably going to be cancelled out pretty soon. And if it isn't, then they're just going to pump the water back out. Oh, 2 compartments flooding now. There we go. The flooding has been contained. But buoyancy stays at 87. As of right now. Structural integrity, 31%. Ricochet hits. Here. More than 2,000. This thing has taken a battering and a half. More damage to the main guns and the secondaries, but it is still not enough. Chance to ricochet, low. Chance to pen is also not that great. Fire HE for a bit. Humor me. Maybe I can start some fires. Although with the amount of bulkheads that that ship has, I don't really value my chances. I don't think they're going to be that good. 47. %30 structural. If only the heavy cruiser had torpedoes. I'm starting to flood now. Seriously flooding. The bow goes down, starts to flood. Well, I gotta give it to the Pueblo. She gave these battle cruisers a hell of a challenge. They are not... They're not just kicking this battle or this heavy cruiser into the ground. If I'd had 2, maybe I would have had a chance to sink these guys. But as it is right now, not so much. So, I'm calling it here. This is the end of the vid. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to, let me check, RM for sending in the scenario. And I hope to see you guys soon for another video. Catch you guys then.